Here we go!
You're listening to the video game show on URN.
That's right, you're listening to Video Game Show, and I am your host Henry, and I'm joined
Henry's
Tuesday.
back, guys.
I'm back. I can't believe it. It's been so long.
For the first time in like 2 months, Henry's up on the mics with the video game show.
It's been a very long time, Mark. It's good to be back.
I'm excited.
So we're joined in the studio today by Thom.
Hey, how's
Say
it
hi,
going?
Thom. Good, thanks, Thom. Good to have you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
It's good to be back.
Yeah,
So-
does it feel good?
Yeah, it feels good actually. Yeah,
Awesome.
been busy and now I'm back.
You're standing up, Henry. It's making me feel uncomfortable.
Oh, dear.
You're making the place look untidy. It's putting me on edge.
We've got a busy show today, haven't we, Mark?
We do.
What have we got today coming on?
We've got a whole bunch coming up. We've got a solid spate of news stories to talk about. We've got some Call of Duty, we've got some E3 things to talk about, some Destiny, some Valve stuff.
Very nice.
We've got a couple of reviews.
Excellent.
Should be interesting. We've
Yeah.
got a Hall of Game, which I haven't told you about because we didn't expect you to be on today. So that'll be
Nice.
fun. We might just let you try and work that one out at the very last possible moment.
It was on the run-up show, right?
See what I come up
And
with.
then we've even got a little bit of hype at the end.
Classic. Sounds good.
Yeah, it should be alright. We've had worse shows.
I imagine that we've had. No, this sounds great. We've got a very busy schedule, and I said there are lots of games we're going to talk about, and we are going to get into that. But for the moment, we are going to go to a song, and we're going to start with the Mario song. Yeah,
We've got a few to go through today.
we have got quite a few.
As always, we have a theme.
We do have a theme actually. What
What's
is
the
that
theme?
theme?
Super Mario Bros.
Super
bro.
Mario Bros. Yeah, exactly. We've got a lot of those songs, so we are going to go to that song. And here we go. We're going to kick off with Super Mario World Overworld theme.
Alright.
We're back, and that was Super Mario World.
Yeah, that
Overworld
was
theme.
like that.
I think that's called like the sports rag or something. It's sort of the classic Super Mario World theme.
Right.
I love Super Mario
So he's
World.
plodding along.
It's what a game. 1992 Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
Did you guys check out? Sorry, just gone a bit of a tangent. Did you see the Super Mario, the new one on the Switch?
I
Super
saw
Mario
bits.
Odyssey.
Yeah, think it looks cool.
He's like in New York. He's
Yeah, it's
wandering
kinda-
No,
around.
he's in New Donk City, baby.
New Donk City.
He's in the desert. He's doing all
It looks really cool.
globe-trotting Mario.
I'm excited about that. That could be all right.
Yeah, that's cool. And he throws his hat as well. That's a new thing.
His hat's now
hat's
like
got
a dude.
eyes.
It's got eyes. It's like a living thing on his head.
That could be cool.
Yeah, it looks kind of cool, and we'll see what they come up with. But we are going to get into the news, and Mark has got some cracking.
I got a grip of news
Stuff.
stories here written down on my phone.
What's been going on?
Well, there's a really interesting one that happened on like Thursday that I think's brilliant. So, Activision had their shareholders meeting, I believe, or some sort
It's
of
like their
financial meeting.
Yes,
Financial
indeed, yeah.
report type
Yeah,
thing.
something where they talked about their business and they got honest and they said the next Call of Duty is going to be going back to its roots.
Yeah, cool.
Apparently the space theme didn't connect very well.
Yeah, that was the quote.
with players.
They say that the space theme didn't connect in
Is that
inverted
right?
commas with their fan base because I think Infinite Warfare, it's Infinity Ward, Infinite Warfare.
There we go.
Didn't perform
Did
particularly.
it not?
well.
But then even then,
I mean-
not performing well for Call of Duty is probably like 20 million copies or whatever. Like, probably
Yeah,
not, probably not
still-
that much, but like,
Still 7-8 figures of sales, but
Yeah.
I think considering they used to basically own all video games ever, the fact that Call of Duty isn't everyone's favourite anymore is a strange one.
Yeah, I think that's. I'd say that's I'd say it's a good thing because actually that means that there's a bit more diversity, and also it means that they have to make better games as well.
Yeah, so the next one is being made by Sledgehammer Games,
Oh,
who
okay.
produced Advanced Warfare. That was the last one they made.
Did they do any before that?
They did map packs for like Black Ops 2.
Right.
Oh, is that how they made the thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
so Sledgehammer Games started. So
It used to be Treyarch and Infinity Ward
Yeah, and
alternating years,
and
right?
the genesis of Sledgehammer
Yeah.
Games was around the time Modern Warfare 2 came out. Sledgehammer Games was brought on to make a third-person Call of Duty game that was going to be a way more like open, story-focused kind of almost Ubisoft-style game.
Didn't they release an iOS version, like a top-down?
Yeah. So Sledgehammer was sort of always this behind-the-scenes unit that were doing
Yeah.
other things. That third-person game never came to fruition, and then when Activision was bringing in all these first-person shooter teams from everywhere, like Ravensoft and everywhere else, to start making map packs. Sledgehammer Games was rolled into that.
Right.
And then they made Advanced Warfare, which was the 2014 Kevin Spacey murder fest. That was,
Exosuits and
yeah, that was, I don't know, I really enjoyed that game.
Well, they introduced the jump, or the
double
power,
jump.
whatever. The double jump, which has been a huge addition. So
Yeah.
you find that all over the place now. Titanfall.
Yeah, and so, but now they're going back to their roots. So what we were talking about yesterday, myself and Tom, is does that mean World War II, or does that just mean Call of Duty 4?
Yeah. Where's the root?
I had wondered that, and well, their roots. If you think about it, they're like, aren't they thinking about Call of Duty, the big red one, and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, like Call of Duty 1 and 2.
surely that's got to be World War II.
Well,
Isn't that them just following EA and DICE and Battlefield just a bit too much?
Ostensibly, they release a game every year about November time. So ostensibly they're already halfway through development for the next one.
Yeah,
They're like, that's already locked in. They haven't gone, Infinite Warfare didn't do well, let's change it right now.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So I mean,
that's
maybe they're saying we're going to go back to roots because of this, but I'd imagine they were already going in that. Yeah, exactly.
But then that makes me think, I don't know, like, you happen to quite like Battlefield 1, didn't you?
Loved it.
Do you still play it? Find yourself
Do you know what? I don't, but that's only because I don't. I've actually got caught back into. I've got into Overwatch recently again.
Ooh.
So I've actually been playing quite a lot that recently.
Fair enough.
But actually, Battlefield 1 is definitely something I'm going to get back into, because there's still, like, with Overwatch, you don't progress and you just pick it up and play, whereas Battlefield, you do progress, and I haven't progressed very fast, so there's so much more for me to play on it, so I definitely will get back into it.
Progression in terms of, like, unlocking weapons and stuff.
Yeah,
for your
exactly.
loadout.
And, like, exactly.
Yeah, because Overwatch is all cosmetics and stuff, isn't it?
Literally, which is fun. But it's still
it makes
fun.
it a slightly more, slightly pure experience, I suppose.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It does make it more pure, kind of. But Battlefield, I definitely will get back into, because it is a phenomenal game, as I've often talked about on the show. So I'd be very interested to see how they. Because for me, the bit that worked so well about Battlefield 1 is that it was quite realistic, and they had all these kind of. All the sort of the limitations of being in that era. Whereas if Call of Duty went back, I feel like it'd be quite arcadey, and that's what I don't want to see in World War II.
Yeah, well, like Call of Duty 2, and like, to be fair, 1 did a lot of the same things, but 2 was the one that did it like a lot better and a lot more polished. Had its, its big cinematic Call of Duty moments. It had storming the beaches of Stalingrad as a Russian soldier to try and take back the city from the Nazis, and they're only giving out a rifle to like every third soldier, and then as you look ahead in the queue, you realise that you're not going to get a rifle, and you have to spend an entire mission just dodging gunfire and explosions till you can find a rifle off a dead body to try and actually fight back. Like, even when it was doing that, it was finding like Call of Duty ways to make the experience not just... Because I think, because Battlefield has always been about being a soldier.
Yeah, that's fair.
Even like when the campaigns for like 3 and 4, where you weren't just a soldier, were people weren't big fans of those, and I've fiddled around with them, and they weren't great. They were trying to be Call of Duty, and Battlefield 1 got so much love for its campaign, because it wasn't just you are the coolest dude in every single army. You're actually just a grunt.
Yeah, you're just a normal bloke,
or a carrier pigeon in that one level.
And to my shame, I still haven't played the campaign, Mark.
Oh, mate. You've been telling me you're going to play the campaign for literally months. You're breaking my heart. Okay,
Sorry.
Yeah, I think that'll be interesting. They usually announce the new Call of Duty around like April, May time.
Yeah,
just before E3 sort of thing, and then
so that someone
show
can
stuff
get,
off.
So that Sony, I imagine, will then get a video for their press conference. So we'll find out soon enough.
I think so.
I don't know, like... What's the room thinking? World War II, Vietnam, we were thinking possibly, or Modern Warfare.
Didn't they already do Vietnam?
Well, they did Black Ops, like half of Black Ops is in Vietnam, but then the other half of Black Ops was you being tortured by like a CIA agent.
That's true.
What do the numbers mean, Mason?
Yeah.
It's that, wasn't it?
I feel like, Vietnam could be awesome, actually. Or they could do something quite contentious, do something like the Falkland War or something, like...
Cool, that would be controversial.
Can you imagine how
Has anyone ever
controversial
touched
that
on
would
the
be?
Korean War in a video game?
Oh yeah, that's a good point, actually, because
Which
that
was
includes
the-
Western influence as well.
I mean, it was like
But again-
was it a United Nations force?
Yeah, it
That was
was. And they
sent over?
sent over,
Yeah.
and we kind of helped the South Koreans.
Yeah.
The now South Koreans. Yeah, so that would be quite contentious as well, but that could be a good spin actually, because usually it's kind of theoretical the Koreans have invaded. With that, this is a war that happened in Korea amongst Koreans. So
I
quite
think
interesting,
Battlefield 4 starts off with North Korea pushing into Seoul.
And yeah, MASH proved that you can make a heartfelt story set in the Korean War. So
Yeah, that's true.
and everyone loves MASH. But yeah, we've got some other news stories as well. This is a really interesting one, actually, that's going to change the face of video game coverage as we know it. E3 has been opened to the public.
This is big.
That's a huge piece of news.
The Electronic Entertainment Expo has now, in its 20th year, I think maybe this year, might actually be the 20th year it's been its own thing, separate from CES. There are, I think, 15,000 tickets have been opened up to the public. If you buy your ticket on February the 13th, it's going to cost $150. Any day after that, it's going to cost $250, and that gives you access to the show floor. Because I know last year they did E3 Live, which was a separate event down the road where you could go and see some stuff. Now it's just straight up, you pay your money and you get to go to the Electronic 3.
So does that include in any way the conferences?
I sincerely doubt it.
It's going to be like the hall floor, go around the...
Yeah,
booth.
it'll be the expo hall.
Yeah. So it's the window shopping part.
I think
Which is cool.
it's-
That's still cool. But
I think it's the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And all the conferences are the Sunday and Monday.
Because for me, I love all that stuff, but personally, I'm the kind of person who I only want to play the product when it's finished. I have it, and so for me, the most exciting part is always the conferences. That's what I always watch. But that's still awesome. But
me and Mark always, I say always, the last couple of years we've watched E3.
Yeah, get a good group
summer,
together.
after
I think we'll probably end up doing something about E3 on this show.
We could actually,
because
we could actually do an E3 special actually.
Yeah.
In the same way the film show, big up, are doing an Oscar special. We could do an E3 thing. That'd be cool actually.
But that's kind of the thing. The E3 is the gaming equivalent of the Oscars almost. So if you say gaming
that's
show,
more the video game awards, isn't it?
yeah, but
because nothing gets announced at the Oscars.
this is true. But in terms of if you say video game show,
Yeah, this is
people will say
it's the
E3.
most. Yeah, it's the most high profile event, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
I mean,
and to open it to the public is bold.
People have been saying for
Yeah.
years, open it to the public.
Yeah, it's going to be rammed.
Yeah, I wonder what effect this will have on press coverage.
Yeah.
If suddenly having 15,000 regular punters blocking up the works, is that going to affect?
I wonder if they'll pull back on how many press passes they give out.
Yeah,
because they're quite liberal with it at the moment.
Yeah, are outlets now going to have a harder time getting hands on, or is it actually going to be going to be more focused on behind the door demos and stuff like that?
Well, that's it. For example, if IGN, for example, are like, we wanted to play this, but we couldn't because there were so many people queuing. I'd just be like, I don't know how I feel about that, because for me, E3 is it's for everyone in the world internationally, and they're basically sending out information saying this is what's coming out, this is why you should be excited. But equally, it's very, very professional. Yeah, and you always get very high quality content. But if you've got all these punters turning out, I don't know really. I think I'm not sure.
E3 was born of a different time when you didn't get your gaming news from the internet or Reddit or from a developer's website. You'd get a magazine every month or so.
A telegram.
Yeah, you used to get a pigeon.
But I mean,
Battlefield 1.
Yeah, it's kind of true though.
And now that's not how people get their news.
If you want to find out news about Call of Duty, you don't have to wait till E3. You just go on their Facebook page. You go on their Twitter, and the Call of Duty man tells you about Call of Duty.
True.
So now maybe to transition it to a public demo show.
Because I know
maybe that's the
I know that already,
decision.
even not as a public show, the queues at E3 for demos on the floor are already long.
They're
ridiculous.
You can spend an entire day queuing to get to play 15 minutes of Zelda.
Well, yeah, Zoe did, didn't she? Zoe did do that on record saying that she queued an entire day to play Zelda. But I also know that press that is actually, I don't want to say worth a damn, but press that is worth a damn they get demos behind closed doors. They get private demos. They get smaller demos.
Yeah, that is a very good point.
But I wonder if you've suddenly got 15,000 extra people in there.
Is that how many they've said?
Yeah,
I think it's
15,000 tickets.
Oh my goodness. So hang on, how are they going to make the venue? The venue's going to have to be even bigger.
Yeah.
I think it's still at the Staples Centre where it's always been. But I also know that in the last few years they've closed down half of it. It's so I imagine what they do now is open the whole hall back up again and spread everything out.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, it's a weird thing, and I think we'll only be able to see what effect it has on E3 at E3 because there's just no predicting. If it's
No,
going
fair
to
enough.
dunk
It would
everything up
be a
or-
real shame if, because of this, the conferences started becoming smaller or less focused on. Because I really enjoy that. It's a nice time of the year to. It's like, okay, you're going to get a ton of news on June the 8th. So
You stay up for 8 hours till like 6 in the morning, and
Yeah.
you get all the hot news from.
you see all the
everyone
trailers.
worth
You see a
hearing
couple of
from.
demos. You get to see Snoop Dogg try and play Battlefield.
Terry Crews.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg smoking a giant blunt on a live stream.
He went like 0 for 0, didn't he, in that game?
Yeah, because every time
He
they
just
cut
ran
to a
away.
screen, he was just walking into a wall.
I like the idea that we'll see this kind of crowding. So there'll be like an IGN panel with Hideo Kojima, and then there'll just be some random dude in the corner just standing in shot. Like there was,
we love you.
there was no space. I had to stand here. So yeah, we'll see. But that's cool. And
That is cool.
If
And
you're-
those tickets go on sale on February the 13th.
yeah, and that will sell out
Immediately.
quicker than an Ed Sheeran concert,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, it'll be outrageous.
Cool. Yeah. So E3. If you're in America, go check it out.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not in America and you can afford to get to LA for a week.
then you go for it. So what else we got, Mark?
So out of that same Activision financial callings where they were speaking about Call of Duty, they came out and said Destiny 2 is definitely going to come out fall this year, and they said it's going to have a great cast of memorable, relatable characters, even though aren't most of the characters like blue dudes and robots. And it's
Yeah.
also going to have a cinematic storyline.
See, I am
And that's
concerned.
PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4.
No, they haven't announced platforms.
Oh, I've heard.
There's rumours about
I mean, we
PC,
can
but
we can comfortably assume. I think.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've heard like people from Bungie come out saying, yeah, it's going to be on PC.
But like I was saying to Mark earlier, the gameplay in Destiny is heavily reliant on aim assist.
Is that
Like, you
because of
can-
the stats on weapons and stuff?
Yeah, like it is a stat on weapons and is something you look for, like reload speed or accuracy or range. Like if you walk perpendicular to a dude and just walk past him, you'll turn about 20 degrees, depending on how close you are to him. It's a real strong effect, and you won't have that on PC. So it completely changed the gameplay.
Is it not
so I
on,
don't know.
Is it not on PC right now?
No, it launched on
Okay, fair enough.
Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, and Xbox One.
When was it?
And they
after
stopped-
the Taken King, they stopped doing
After Rise of
gen.
Iron
Sure.
last
Oh, okay.
September,
Well, it
they
is-
stopped supporting old generation consoles.
Well, I suppose it is Bungie, and they're not prone to making PC games.
No,
so
I mean the
wouldn't
last
be-
one they did was Oni, which was like.
No, it would have been like Halo 2.
Well, they didn't make that though. Bungie didn't make the Windows port for Halo 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
We'll see.
But yeah,
But the thing I'm more concerned about is the
then
fact
hang on,
that
actually, I know exactly what it is. I know they did Halo 5 Forge for the PC. It came out like last year.
well, Bungie don't make Halo anymore.
Oh no, they don't, do they? Ah, yeah. So yeah, they.
Yeah, they haven't made PC in a while. Although maybe Oni was Mac. I can't remember. It was a long time ago.
Oni was weird. That was part of by Rockstar. Have you ever played Oni?
No,
Oni-
I've seen some
Oni's
stuff
a cool
about
video
it.
game.
Yeah, it's stylistic,
sure.
but yeah, I don't know if PC is the way to go with Destiny 2.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's not something I really know much about, to be honest. But
Why did they just say you can't use a mouse and keyboard?
You have to plug
who
in a
would do
DualShock
that,
4.
Mark? Who would say that? What company would say that? But I'm actually quite concerned about this because Destiny 2, to my mind, was going to be a complete revamp of the first game because the first one didn't have what we thought it would. And for it to come out so soon concerns me because Rise of Iron came out in September. They're working on all that, and also it's massive MMO, so they're working on it all the time. But the fact that they've been making a second one and it's coming out this year,
Yeah, I mean
it sounds rushed to me.
I mean they haven't actually officially announced it. This the financial call on Thursday was the first official word that it will be released this year.
Didn't they? What did
They
it
said-
say
they said
on
last
their like crazy calendar they put out at when Destiny first
That
came
was-
out? And they
that
were
was
going to have a
for-
small expansion, a big expansion, and then a sequel in this year.
that was the timeline for Destiny 1 of just the expansions. It didn't go to Destiny 2.
End? I think at the end
Oh,
of that
probably,
they said
yeah.
there's a sequel for
Yeah,
this year.
probably.
So,
But I mean, they haven't announced it yet, and if it's coming out, say November, that's not a huge amount of time to
Right.
put all of their.
How big is Bungie? Are they big enough they
They're
could have 2
massive
teams?
now. They have
So
a main team. They have a live team which supports the current game with like events and
so
stuff.
could they have been working on it for like years already?
Yeah,
Could be.
I
Could they have been
mean,
working it since that first game came out and
It
everyone
just-
went, I don't like
I
this
imagine.
game.
I mean, Rise of Iron was a pretty small expansion. I reckon after the Taken King, which was considerably bigger, I imagine the main team just went, right, we need to get working on Destiny 2 now.
It just sounds kind of reactionary to me because remember the first one
Yeah.
came out and there was a bit of a flack about it, and they went, "Okay, we're gonna make a second one." It's like, I don't know.
We're
I
going
might-
to fix it.
It's
honest.
interesting.
I might be completely wrong. We'll see. It's a bit like Battlefront 2, actually. They're like, "Oh, one wasn't as good as we thought it was."
Yeah.
Here's 2. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll see.
but,
I mean, I'm still excited about it because I didn't play the first one ever, and I did want to play it. So I'm hoping the second one brings what I wanted.
I play that game constantly. I mean,
Yeah.
Mark's. You were saying last week you finished Witcher 3
Yeah.
in
Ooh.
178 hours.
I would like to chat about The Witcher,
So that
as
made
and
me-
when we get to it. But sorry, yeah.
So that made me go and top up my hours of Destiny since I got it in December 2014.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
about 640 hours.
That's
It's
quite a few
ridiculous.
hours.
Wow.
It's
Big fan.
nuts. But I'd love to not buy Destiny 2. Because it's like if I was addicted to crack and they bought out crack 2, I'd be like, okay, now's probably a good time to leave it. Now's probably a good time to quit
That
because
sounds like you have a really unhealthy relationship with Destiny.
you've seen me.
In your pants at 7 in the morning playing Destiny. Yeah, I don't know. Like, Destiny 1 is no secret that it had some problems.
But it's so addictive.
So maybe a sequel is what they need.
Maybe.
I haven't touched it. I don't know if
I don't
maybe
know.
PC is going to actually knacker it. We'll see. I'd like to come out on PC because I prefer to play multiplayer on the PC when I have to pay for it.
That's a good point.
But that's kind of selfish on my part. and as you said, yeah, like I don't know. Maybe Bungie will actually make something for the PC.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because it was Gearbox who put out those Halo ports,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Gearbox, that's the one, yeah.
Speaking of Gearbox,
Ooh, yeah. Have you?
I haven't heard anything about it, but I am sort of wondering when they're going to announce Borderlands 3.
Yeah, we were
Ooh.
speaking about that. We were speaking about Borderlands last week.
Oh, were
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, because Jack is obviously. Shout out to Jack, huge fan of Borderlands.
Oh, yeah, Jay likes, doesn't he? Yeah, I forgot that.
And from after Battleborn, I think they might need Borderlands 3 to save Gearbox.
I think those fiscal meetings
Yeah.
are going to be like, it's coming out.
Did you see Randy Pitchford tweeting? Oh, so Randy Pitchford is the CEO of Gearbox. But let's explain. Yeah, so Randy Pitchford, CEO of Gearbox. Last year they put out a game called Battleborn, which is a first-person MOBA that came out alongside Overwatch, which is a far better video game.
It was
Yeah.
described by my flatmate as when you ask for Overwatch for Christmas and your mum gets you Battleborn.
Yeah, like that is exactly what it is. And so Randy Pitchford tweeted out the subreddit. So the thing about Overwatch that is like the secret reason it's really popular is because everyone really loves the characters and they love to do kind of weird fetishy stuff with the characters. Yeah,
They do, actually. Yeah, they do.
So Randy Pitchford was tweeting out the link to the Battleborn Rule 34 subreddit, which was empty, saying, "Oh look, people are doing all these rude pictures of all of my Battleborn characters. Look how great they are." And within like a couple of hours, the entire subreddit was filled with pictures that were like, "No, Randy Pitchford, you're an idiot," or just pictures of Overwatch characters.
Nice one,
Oh,
internet.
no.
Yeah, like he's kind of a joke. But yeah, maybe Borderlands 3 will save that company.
I
Borderlands
think
is
it
an
will.
awesome franchise.
Borderlands 3 will be. I'm sure it'll be good, and I'm
Yeah.
sure it will. I'm sure that will do well.
So we've got. I want to quickly run through some short.
Yeah,
stuff
then we'll
we've got
go
left,
to
and
we'll go
then-
to a song after this.
Yeah, so a couple of little bites. They've come out saying they're working on 3 full VR games.
Mm-hmm.
So not little experiences, not like the lab that they put out with
Like
HTC
Eagle
Vive.
Flight.
Right.
Yeah, they're saying we are making 3 full actual video games.
Oh,
in
really?
VR. Yeah,
I mean, can I suggest there might be a Portal 3 in there?
probably.
Oh,
Yeah?
that'd be
Get anyone to
great
see
in
the fact they're
VR.
using the number 3 for the first time in like years to actually describe anything. But yeah, like Portal 3, that wouldn't surprise me in the slightest, though I imagine that's a really easy way to vomit immediately.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh yeah, if you jump through and you're just like going through the port. Oh yeah, that would be nuts. But that seems like an absolute shoe in VR. Like the way it's played. I mean, that must be.
Yeah, definitely.
Surely.
I don't want to say it, and I don't think it's true, but
Oh, don't say it.
Half-Life.
I knew you were
not,
gonna say that.
not 3,
why have you
but
done that?
will they do a Half-Life thing in it?
Half-Life Journey or something invented.
I don't know, but maybe like You never know with Valve, because the thing with Valve as well is,
You really don't know, do you?
unlike every other company who say, "Oh, we're making this game, it's going to be awesome," and then a year later go, "Didn't work out." Valve just don't talk about anything until
No,
it's
they don't.
basically almost done. Like
Yeah.
you hear weird
Yeah.
stories coming out of ex-Valve employees going, "Yeah, it's there are hundreds and hundreds of games that got almost finished, and someone just went, no, it's not good enough, and it just got put in a hard drive in a box somewhere."
Man.
They're a bit
That's
like
crazy.
Apple, actually, Valve. They're very secretive, as in, like,
Yeah.
you never really hear much about, obviously, there's leaks and stuff, but, like, Valve, as you said, they very keep it to their own, so could be.
So like, yeah, who knows what's going on
Left 4
there?
Dead 3 in VR, that'd be a fun game to play.
Oh, that'd be terrifying.
Yeah, it'd be great.
That would, yeah. And then last one as well is there was a recent interview with Shigeru Miyamoto and Eiji Inumi. So Shigeru Miyamoto, obviously, everyone knows, everyone loves him. Eiji Inumi, maybe less known, but he is the current like overarching producer for the last like 10, 15 Zelda games. He was the lead developer for Majora's Mask and Wind Waker. And they had an interview where they're talking about Nintendo and other stuff, and they came out saying that Link, the protagonist of The Legend of Zelda, his full name is Link.
What?
Yep.
Link.
Link.
Yep, as in Link, space, Link.
What? And there's not even a hyphen in it. It's bloody Link. There's not even never mind.
It's a great name. Use it twice.
They missed a joke there.
It's like how Mario's name is Mario.
You know what would have really...
Because they're the Mario brothers, aren't they? So it's Mario and Luigi Mario, obviously. Otherwise, how are they the Mario brothers?
That's true,
I
actually.
bet it would have really annoyed the fans if they said, no, his full name is Zelda Link. Because there's a whole thing where people think that the main character is Zelda.
Yeah, because it's The Legend of Zelda, right?
It's like, no, it's Link. Zelda is the princess. Isn't it? I've never played Zelda.
Yeah, I mean, that you got that
Cool,
correct.
awesome.
The Legend
But
of Link.
if they'd said, yeah, he's called Zelda Link, or Link Zelda, I would have really enjoyed that.
Interesting.
Speaking of Mario.
Speaking of Mario, we're going to go to a song. And here we have, it's Mario, and Jack has sent this in, and all it says is Mario Super. So here we go. Here's Mario Super.
Go, 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 gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast, too fast, too fast, faster, faster.
Well, that was epic, and that was Mario Super, and it was Super, wasn't it?
It is.
I believe that is the 1-1 theme from Super Mario Bros.
Is that-
if we want to be specific.
I'm surprised you haven't played that track before on the show, because that's sort of...
I think it's in. I think it's in
really
our intro.
famous.
Yeah, I think it's used in the intro.
It is- yeah, I think it's in
I
the
think we
intro.
actually play it every week.
Nice.
So we did that. Cool. So we've done a bit of news, and Mark and I were just talking about The Witcher
Oh, it's really good.
over,
We spoke about it like
Song.
all week last week. It's just so good.
and we talk about it so much. And I was just saying to Tom and Mark that I finished the main story like a couple of weeks ago, and I finally got there. I finally finished the story, and do you know what? When I actually completed the story quest, I actually was a little bit sad. I
Oh,
was
no
like-
spoilers. I'm only an hour
Oh, no,
and a
don't
half
worry.
in.
No, don't worry. I won't spoil it for you.
So, yeah, so
But I
what
was
did you
actually
think?
like, because I was spending, and it sounds a bit weird, but I was spending a regular amount of time at weird points during the year with these kind of characters and stuff. And I'd just be plodding along with them. And then I finished it, and I was like, that's it. I'm done. So, I don't know, it felt a bit bereft.
So I had some interesting thoughts about the story of The Witcher 3 that I spoke about last week, but mostly just boiled down to, I thought it has some good moments, but as an overarching story, it isn't. Oh,
Who
we have,
is that who's entered the
we have
studio?
someone sneaking into the studio.
Special guest.
Oh, it's Jackie
Well, host.
Newman.
Yes, mate, how's it going?
Say hello, Jack. He said hello.
Hello.
Yeah, but I found that the story of The Witcher 3 to have a lot of really awesome moments that were joined by a kind of a wet fart. I thought I spent the first half of that game doing really awesome stuff so that someone would tell me where Ciri is. And the thing I was actually trying to do was just talk to a person and then go to the next place and talk to another person. I thought that was a real bummer. And then the second half of the game actually is like really awesome. Like all the stuff when you go to Kaer Morhen and then coming back from there to do the final battle preparation and everything, that's really cool. But I thought that first half where it's like, oh, the bloody Baron quest, great, but it doesn't actually affect the story. You're just doing something, so we'll tell you where Ciri is.
So I think you're right, but in the first half, a lot of people give up actually because the story doesn't grab you. And I think
It's all the side stuff. That's
in the
really
beginning, it meanders a bit. It takes its time a bit too much. I think it has too much confidence. Rightly so. However, I just think the story maybe doesn't go anywhere initially. However, by the time you're actually 2/3 of the way into it, suddenly I just got hooked and I had to keep playing because
it's
it just
awesome
the story
stuff happens.
goes in directions you would just never. I don't know, really. You wouldn't necessarily predict, even though it is somewhat predictable. The way you get there is very, very bizarre.
Yeah, like it still has like the second act downer and like the third act. Like it follows the same basic story of every hero story ever, but. I just think this. I think it was the side stuff in that game that impressed me so much more than the main stuff.
I mean, when people say they don't like The Witcher, I just go off for one because I'm like, how can you say that? The side quests are so developed and so unnecessary in the game. That's what makes it so good, though.
Yeah, it builds a world with a kind of care and detail that I've not seen in a video game ever.
There's a mission where you basically meet up with this elf dude. And he's like, right, we need to go back to my world. And you're like, okay. And then you go dimension hopping. And you go through all these different worlds. And it's just like...
Yeah.
It's absolutely nuts. Like, it's crazy.
I should really give it another chance. I've played a few hours of it. I got it a couple of months.
Did you get out of Wild Orchard?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
Just about. Because then you like go to a big castle or something, and then you're pretty much free to do what you want.
You go to Vizima, and then you go to Velen, don't you?
That's it.
But I was overwhelmed by that game, to be honest. Like all the systems, the combat, the gear and weapons you can have, the potions and lotions and oils and stuff.
Definitely.
I was just sort of like, I'll go and play Destiny again.
It is it's just a brilliant RPG, and over Christmas as well, I started playing the original Witcher, the Witcher 1. I got that on Steam for like a couple of pounds, and I started playing it, and the combat on that's weird, but it's ingenious. I like it.
Me starting it like 3 times to actually not think it was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, what is it? You have to time your right clicks or your just standard left clicks really, really well to counter your opponent's attacks and stuff. I think it's brilliant. I think it's a brilliant concept as well.
It's based on a modified like Baldur's Gate engine, so the whole thing can be played top down just using the mouse. It's all like D&D dice rolls.
Oh, really?
Stuff like that. Yeah, it hides it a lot more than like Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter Nights and stuff do, but it's the whole thing itself is like a modified version of those old D&D like CRPG engines. It's fun, but it's not got the polish that 2 and 3 do.
No, I mean, what is it? It's a 10-year-old game. So I mean, you can't.
Yeah, 10 years old this year.
For a 10-year-old game, I think I got the one which is like the Witcher 1 Enhanced Edition.
Yeah, that's the one worth getting.
Yeah, because it does look.
Stuff in it.
I mean, for a 10-year-old game, it does still look good, and it does hold up. I mean, I'm playing it today. I still haven't touched it since like a few weeks ago, but it does still hold up today. And I mean, if you're a massive fan of the Witcher 3, I'd probably recommend going back and playing it. I'm about 2 hours into it.
But
yeah,
it's a good story. At least, or it's a good story. It's another story in that universe. Seeing where 2 and 3 went and how 2 and 3 actually link back into the books, 1 and a lot of the things they do in 1, they show signs that at the time CD Projekt Red didn't really know if it was going to be a whole series. It was because up until that point they'd just done translations for like other CRPG games. And so then they were like, let's make our own game. Let's make it based on this like quite beloved set of Polish books that had up until that point never been in English.
No.
And then they put out this game, and there are a lot of things in it like that show that they wanted to reference the books, but didn't know it was going to be a direct continuation. And then 2 and 3, they actually bring that story together again. So 1 has some bits where you go, oh, well, why is that character in it? That character should actually be this character, and that would make it a way more contiguous tale. Yeah,
because in the books, I've read the first 2. There is an overarching storyline, but it's still a bit kind of myths and legends of Geralt.
So have you read?
I've read the 2 short story, but I haven't read the series.
So I've read The Last Wish, which is
read the
first short story one. But then also it goes like Blood of Elves, Time of Contempt, Time of Fire, possibly,
the Tower or something.
And then Tower of Swallows is the most recent one they put out, and they are actually one long story. Right. Feed directly into the beginning of the first Witcher game, but in like a kind of weird indirect way.
The thing I like the most about The Witcher 3 is that they managed to make the world of The Witcher sound like it's part of our lore. So you know when like you have fairy tales and like Red Riding Hood, it's all made up. But The Witcher made it sound like it was part of our lore, and like even the game doesn't actually know the boundaries of its own lore. But they say, "Oh, once upon a time, Geralt was riding a dragon, and he made out with this particular person," and it's just like they've referenced that, but they never actually say when it happened or whatever.
I think every time you load up your save in that game, it gives you like a little cutscene of what you've been up to and
really
where
cool,
you are
actually.
in the game, and I think that's insane. Like when they give you like the little comic, they give you like the little comic book scenes of
Gravity
Geralt
voice
killing like a werewolf and stuff.
Yeah.
Old Dandelion just being like, "Yo, what's up?"
But I remember when I was sorry, I won't talk about too much longer. But when I was
we talk about the Witcher way too much on this show.
it's like we like it or
just stop
something.
it.
There's when you do the. I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but it's not really a spoiler. At the end, there's a massive battle at Kaer Morhen, and that's like the
you
big
fight
mission.
bad guys.
Yeah.
You fight bad guys.
What?
Hella-
There's a climactic event. I was
Hella
hoping it
bad
would just
guys.
kind of go on and on and on until it just sort of.
Well, that's it. That's it,
ends.
though. You do the battle of Kaer Morhen, and I was like, right, well, surely this is the end. And brother's like, no. There's still
another
at least
25
there's still
hours.
like 10, 15 hours left of story, and I was like, what? And like you still go on, and then eventually you get there. But the game goes on, and yeah, it's great.
It's an awesome video game.
It
Do you know
is.
what else is actually quite a cool video game?
What's that,
came
Mark?
out quite recently that I want to talk about.
Yeah,
Let It Die.
Let It Die.
Mark's been trying to download Let It Die for about a month now.
Yeah, literally. I've been trying to download it over the Wi-Fi in my house, and it's really poor.
Let it download.
And
right.
literally, and I finally gave up and moved my PlayStation to my desk so I could plug an Ethernet cable in, and then downloaded it. And Let It Die is the free-to-play PlayStation exclusive from Grasshopper Studios, which is the studio run by Suda51, who has produced such games as No More Heroes. If you know No More Heroes,
heard of
from
it.
Wii,
I've
yeah,
heard
and
of
like
it.
Killer 7, which was a GameCube game, and some other bits and bobs like that. And it is like a free-to-play roguelike Dark Soulsian thing.
Right.
Is pretty good. It's kind of strange, but the basic premise is there is a tower called. The basic premise is you just hang out in an arcade with your mate Uncle Death,
Classic.
who's just like a dude with a skateboard and some funny sunglasses, and his head's a skull.
And a scythe.
Yeah, and a scythe.
And some figure, yeah.
And you're playing a game called Let It Die in this arcade. And the point of Let It Die is to fight your way up through the 40 floors of the Tower of Barbs to get treasure.
Okay.
And as you fight your way up, if you die, you have to start a new character to go back through it, and you, much like in Dark Souls, if you find where your body is, you can get your stuff back, but then also your body's alive now as like a hater, so you can fight your hater again to like do stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And then as you unlock more floors, you unlock shortcuts you can spend currency to get to, and then if you pay actual money, you unlock better shortcuts for real money and things like that. But yeah, the idea is it's basically it puts a prevalence on combat and a kind of weight on combat that feels quite Dark Souls, and it's it's like light hit, heavy hit, like left hand weapon, right hand weapon, and you have to really commit to it. And there's stamina to watch, and you have to dodge and roll, and you get gear. And yeah, I think I might be somewhat enamoured with it in that it's a free game, and it's got a lot of depth to it that you don't usually expect from free games, especially ones that are like freemium. In that, like I can spend 50 quid and get a bunch of extra loot to make my journey way, way easier right now if I wanted to. But I don't have to.
Yes.
So can you complete it?
Yeah, it is totally like if you get to the top of the Tower of Barbs, you win. But that
And you've done that?
no, it's really hard.
Right.
It's like so the concept. So obviously, it's you start off and I'm like level 6 or something, and your characters have a character level,
Okay.
which is only associated to your character. But you have weapon levels that go from each character to each character. So if you're constantly using like the hammer to beat people up, you get sick hammer attacks, and you become the best hammerer.
Hammerer.
Yeah,
Fair
and
enough.
then that carries across from character to character. So
Right.
if your really cool hammer dude dies, then you still have all his hammer abilities, even
just
though
change.
even though you might not be level 10 anymore or whatever.
Okay.
So it's like progressive improvements.
Yeah, it's
You'll get to level 2, and then you die, and then
It's like-
you
ever
try it
played
again, and you're a
Two
bit
steps
stronger.
Rogue Legacy, it's a similar
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
roguelike structure to
yeah,
Rogue
yeah.
Legacy
Yeah.
in that each run is with one character,
Right.
and you can get so far with that and unlock more levels and get shortcuts to like the 10th floor or whatever.
Sure.
But the thing that carries on is just like in Rogue Legacy, where you start it off and you get more upgrades and health and other things.
So it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back every time.
It's a really interesting game, and there's a lot of depth to it, and it has a lot of style as well. Like it's super Japanese. Like you start like your character always starts off in just his pants with no gear.
Nice.
And then you have to try and find gear, and all the gear's like crazy dystopian stuff. So at the moment I'm running around in like a raincoat with a traffic cone on my head, and I've got like 2 big hammers, and I'm just beating people up, and yeah, it's...
I'm into that.
This sounds like a
cool.
Tuesday morning for me, eh, Jack?
It's I don't know, it's a weird video game, but it's really cool.
It's nuts because when they announced the PS4, they announced Let It Die, didn't they?
Yeah,
Well, that was one of...
Grasshopper's been working on it for a while.
Along with Deep Down, which is a game we have not heard from in ever.
Yeah, because that was Capcom's possible sequel to Dragon's Dogma, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
the idea of
Yeah,
Deep
that's
Down?
it. Yeah, but we haven't heard of it. No, I don't know what's going on there, but anyway.
But yeah, I don't know. I
yeah,
think,
Let It Die, that sounds cool.
If you've got a PS4,
I
it's
do.
free, so you don't have a reason not to have a go with it.
Oh, okay, I'll give it a go.
And it's online, but because it's all like fully asynchronous and you only encounter enemies, and like you can go and raid other people's arcades to like take their characters, so
Yeah.
you get better characters and stuff. But because you're not actually playing against anybody, you don't need PlayStation Plus to play it online,
okay.
which is cool.
Tell you what though, speaking of free and PlayStation 4, if you do have PlayStation Plus, this month you can get, which I did yesterday, you can get Little Big Planet 3 for free.
Oh yeah, that's probably their biggest one they've given away so far.
Awesome. Well, they did Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, which is a small game,
No, I did
but
download
it's
that,
a
actually.
sort of a blockbuster type series. But yeah, Little Big Planet 3, that's a cool game. You've got that one, haven't you, Mark?
I've got Little Big Planet 1.
Oh, Little Big. Oh, we played that together a bit. Didn't we?
I have the OG LBP.
Yeah,
Me and Ninja Molecule, we go way back.
but that's it's pretty cool. I'm really excited to go and try it.
That was the gimmick of 3 is there's more Sackboys, right? It's not
Yeah.
just
I have no
Sackboys.
idea.
In terms of like
Sackboy
Sack Dog and Sack...
Yeah.
that giant
Pork
sack dude who weighs loads, isn't there? It's like heavy sack.
Because it's like you have to use a different sack boys to do different missions in different levels, so it's not always just being the original sack boy. It's like, there might be a level where you need like to jump on a seesaw and hold the other your co-op player.
So you need a fat sack.
Yeah, so you need a fat sack to jump on the seesaw and then hold the other player up into the air or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I like you, Mark. I had Little Big Planet 1. I love that game.
That's a really cool game.
It is cool.
And Stephen Fry is really nice in it. I want him to hold
And the
me.
music in the game is
Yeah, if I had to describe,
oddly therapeutic as well.
it is
It's a
actually.
really, really catchy soundtrack.
if I had to describe it in one word, from only the few hours I've played, it would just be charming.
Yeah. But the thing is,
Fair.
It's an adorable game.
it's so charming and like it's so stylish and so
Yeah.
lovely.
clever.
And it also is like the perfect vehicle for being mean to other players.
Oh yeah, you can really
Grab
ruin
people, drag them
someone's
around,
day.
punch
Man, yeah.
people, stick
stick
giant
pe-
tails to them.
Yeah, I just stuck about 50 tails to Mark's head, and he couldn't see which direction he was pointing in at any one
definitely
time.
wasn't a total pain.
Yeah, it was that's the thing. It looks like quite a simple game, but actually, it is a lot very complicated. And if you go into the level maker, it's crazy.
Some of the
stuff you
some
can
of the
do.
people, some of the levels
Crazy.
that people make are
Like
just
functioning
insane.
calculators and stuff.
Yeah, it's
Oh, it's
insane.
mad. It's like Minecraft, but like
But even harder to use.
Made of
yeah.
fabric.
Oh, fabric Minecraft, I'm into that.
You can get blocks of wool right in Minecraft.
The Rise of Febreze. Oh, there you go. That for free. Because I remember when they did the demo for basically, because I remember E3, they were doing a presentation, Sony, and then they did Call of Duty, and it went black. And they told everyone Little Big Planet was not coming to E3, and then suddenly lights went up, and the entire demo was just absolutely immediately, and the crowd just went absolutely nuts. And I remember they were playing the demo, and they kept like failing, and they kept being like, "Come on, Sackbird,"
I
and then
remember
she
that,
kept
yeah.
not doing it, and then he was like, "Come on, Sackbird,"
Because didn't they have the people like sat on the stage as well doing
and they
it?
just weren't doing it right, and it's like, come on.
Perfect example of a live demo.
Yeah.
It's like, do you remember that Nintendo Wii live E3 demo for like Skyward Sword, where
No.
the Wiimote just didn't work?
They really,
Yeah, like,
Wow.
because obviously they sync through Bluetooth.
yeah.
And I think at that point the Motion Plus hadn't quite come out yet, so
Right.
they were still working out the kinks in it. They wanted to show it off, and because those rooms are just full of like 2.4 gig signals.
You just got reporters on their phones and laptops
like Wiimotes just weren't working, and they had to stop the demo. It's like, we can't show you Skyward Sword, guys. How bad?
I think Naughty Dog did one as well. It was Uncharted 4. And there's Drake standing in the middle of a market square.
Yeah.
And
I remember we watched that, didn't we?
He stood there for about 2 minutes, and everyone was still going nuts. Like they just didn't care. They're like,
I played that level this week. It's probably the best level in that whole game.
Still not even played it. I need to play Uncharted.
That whole sequence in the marketplace and like the building you're in just before it is probably the best bit in that entire game. Cool. It's awesome.
I remember that demo. They had to start again, didn't they?
They had to start again.
And me and Mark at like 4 a.m. we didn't know if we were dreaming or not. 'Cause we were like, I'm sure I've seen this before somewhere.
Wait,
that was 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, no, I want to play it. But so what else have we got, Mark, on the on your comprehensive schedule? Because we got 10. We're running out of time actually. We've got about 12 minutes.
Well, we've only got about 12 minutes. Do you want to whip through a Hall of Game?
Let's do it.
Well, 2 of us are prepared for this Hall of Game.
I'm really not prepared.
Off.
You still not working on that?
I just can't think. I don't play games with people.
This Hall of Game was produced on the auspice that it was going to be me and Tom, and now all 4 of us are in the room. So
double the power.
We were hoping to just have some cute pillow talk.
Yeah, we were just going to comment live on mic. It was going to be brilliant. But we were going to do favourite co-op game.
Ooh.
And then I've got in brackets here, because there's only 2 of us with a little smiley face.
Oh, that's cute. Then you could have had a nice little day after.
I apologise.
Co-op game. That's gonna be a toughie.
I mean, I told you my one when you mentioned the category to me yesterday.
Oh my god, I've got it.
I told you my one.
Absolutely got it. 100%.
Go for it.
Go on then.
Are you ready? Right. Okay. On iOS, there is a game called Wrestle Jump.
What?
Do you know this game?
I have no idea.
Welcome to the rest of your life. Basically, what you do is Wrestle Jump.
The real life
Basically,
stuff.
Right, I'm gonna
app,
check this out.
and you have these 2 homebrews who are stuck together by their arms, and they're like, so you're facing sideways, and if you imagine, Mark, you and I have got our arms attached.
Both of them.
So we're stuck together by our arms, right?
Okay.
So we're both standing up, and what you do is, on one half screen there's a button, a red button, and on the other side there's a blue button, and you hold the iPad between you, and you press the button, and the button controls your legs, and it makes you kick out, and it makes you jump in the air.
Yeah,
and what you do is you have to try and wrestle each other to the floor. Because you're attached, you have to try and whack each other's heads. But what you do is you flip it, and then you can change. You have like icy floor, you can have wind. But essentially, you try and get as big a hit points as you can. So you can like flip in the air, and you'll be flipping, and you'll smash on the ground. They'll get like 1,000 points on the head. And it is so much fun to play. However, they've updated it, and they've got rid of the hit points. So now, as to how hard you hit yourself, it's a hit. Like, but back in its heyday, and hopefully they've updated it again. So go home and download Wrestle Jump and play Wrestle Jump. I think it's like a quid or something, but it's honestly brilliant. It's so much fun.
The iOS game Bound, that was kind of similar to that, in which you and another person hold the iPhone between you in like a hand each, and then patterns go up on the iPhone that you have to move the iPhone through those shapes. And the end result is that you and this other person dance together, like interpretive dance, and you're spinning around and pulling shapes.
That sounds great. There's actually Wrestle Jump after the huge success of Wrestle Jump. They brought another one called
Wrestle Jump 2, Electric Boogaloo. Jump Up.
I think it's called like Table Pull, and you have 2 people, and there's a line. There's a table, and there's a line, and you have to jump and pull the table between you, and you have to try and pull the table over the line, and then you win. But it's mental. It's really fun.
It's a tug of war.
Yeah.
Tug of table or something like that.
Nice.
Table tug. There you go, table tug.
Yeah, and then there's the sequel.
That's not a
verb.
And that's not that's on under the table. Anyway, next.
I mean, we've had a text in, funnily enough, about the Hall of Game, which is my selection, which I told you. Now we've had a text in saying Portal 2's co-op is pretty rad.
Yeah,
and I mean that was what I told you yesterday.
Who's that from?
It doesn't say who it's
Make
from.
sure
But
sign
if
off
you
the text,
yeah, sign off on your text. Maybe drop us another text if you've got any other opinions. But yeah, Portal 2, it's a pretty good co-op.
That's yours, isn't it?
Yeah, I told you this yesterday. I think it's an ingenious thing because so in Portal you obviously have a portal gun and it allows you to file 2 portals, one where you go in and the other one obviously you come out of it. But in the co-op there are 4 portals and you can each go through. So it's not limited so that one player can only go through their portals. You can go through the other players' portals as well. And I mean, it's Portal in itself is a brilliant game. Portal 2 is fantastic as well, and the co-op in it is it's just fantastic.
It's nuts.
I like the puzzles that they do in it as well. It actually gets you to sit down and think. You can't just go
Now
into
you're
that
thinking
game.
with Portals.
Yeah.
I'm actually yet to play Portal 2 at all. I should give it a go.
Oh, what?
I know, right?
Mate, you
I
did
played
much
it.
shit.
And he's really funny.
Yeah.
He's
incredible.
a funny guy. He is.
No, it's an awesome game.
Mark, you go first because.
You still haven't thought of yours.
So we've got
I
Portal 2, Russell John.
Man,
Resident Evil 5. Always and forever. Number 1 co-op.
tell us
Fair.
why.
So Resident Evil 4 is an awesome game that is single player, and it kind of reinvigorated survival horror with its like viewpoint and the style of aiming and the style of inventory management and the enemies you fight and the story. And then Resident Evil 5 lets you do the same thing but with somebody else, and it's great. It's so much fun. Like, it's my top 3 cooperative video game experiences all come from playing through that game with a friend, and it's just hilarious. Like, it is at moments terrifying, it is at moments exhilarating, it is at moments funny. It's such an awesome, like, the fact because it is survival horror. It forces you to make decisions with another person. Who's going to have this ammo?
Yeah.
Who's going to have the sniper rifle? Who's going to have this grenade? How are we going to get through this area? Okay, how are we going to manage these zombies? It's brilliant.
Sounds cool.
It's an awesome.
That
video
does sound
game.
awesome.
And
Do you think that there's scope? Obviously, with Resident Evil 7, they've taken it into first person. Do you think there's a scope for like maybe doing 2-player co-op in first person, or do you think
I don't know.
that, like, because obviously Resident Evil series is known for their over-the-shoulder third-person co-op, which is brilliant.
Well, for one of them.
Well,
it was.
yeah, yeah.
For 5 and 6, obviously, 1, 2, 3, and Code Veronica are a whole different beast altogether, aren't
Yeah.
they? I don't know. Resident Evil 7 is trying to do such a different thing.
I
Like,
I thought that was trying to go back to roots, like in a horror.
yeah,
kind
and
of
that is
idea.
such a different thing to what 4, 5, and 6 are.
Are they more sort of action survival than horror
Yeah.
survival?
Like, I mean, literally, Resident Evil 4, which is the game that brought them into that whole new genre space. You play as a wisecracking American,
Right.
like you're fighting Spaniards, and he's full on saying "hasta luego" as he sets people on fire and stuff like that. It's a Japanese interpretation of like Hollywood action films with weird horror influences sprinkled in there.
Nice.
But
Sounds good.
yeah, I mean, I wonder, maybe they will. Maybe Resident Evil 8 will be 2 dudes.
One
running
thing,
through
yeah,
an
I
action.
suppose.
That'd be good.
Well, we're running out of time,
I've
so we
got-
should probably go
I've-
with Tom.
I've got mine now. I've just
Yeah.
thought of it.
Go on then.
My choice is for best co-op experience is Crackdown.
Good shout.
Interesting.
Yeah, I wanted to go for something that wasn't Halo or Call of Duty because that would be too easy. But
Who put out that
Crackdown.
first Crackdown. Who put out that first Crackdown?
Oh, I can't remember the developer, but that was bundled.
Was it Ruffian? Was it? No, they did Crackdown 2. Ruffian.
Yeah, Ruffian did Crackdown 2. But Crackdown was released in 2007 or 6 because it was bundled with the Halo 3 beta. Because they were like, this isn't going to perform very well. We'll give a reason for millions of people to buy it. And it actually turned out to be a really solid game. And it's
Collecting
like
orbs, man. I will collect orbs
Yeah,
every
man.
day. Let's go.
Crackdown is basically it's basically a superhero game. Like, you have a dude, you run around a city, and as you get better, as you do things, you get better at them, so you can end up being able to jump about 100 feet in the air. You can pick up cars and trucks and throw them.
Faster than a train. Leap tall buildings in a single bound.
Yeah.
Superman.
And it's basically one of the best superhero games,
Right.
I think. And you can play that co-op, and that's really fun, because it's then just you and your buddy jumping over buildings
nuts.
and landing on people.
New one's supposed to come out this year, isn't it?
Yeah,
Crackdown.
Crackdown 3.
Yeah, Crackdown 3 is meant to be coming out.
Isn't it just called Crackdown?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
so.
is it?
Crackdown,
Okay, fair.
Crackdown 2, and Crackdown.
Well,
They're
yeah.
doing the Prey thing. Well, except for Prey 2 never actually
Oh,
came
yeah,
out.
we can talk about that next week, actually. Yeah, but I think, unfortunately, guys, we're going to have to wrap up. We are near the end of our show, and we need to go to a song. But it's been a great show.
I've enjoyed it.
We've
Nice
covered
to have you
lots.
back, Henry.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. No, it's good to be back, actually. And we covered a lot today. And
been a lot of stuff
news.
going on.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. Hopefully next week we can kind of get into some other games like Prey and stuff, which would be cool.
Yeah,
that's
we'll
coming
have a
out
talk
reasonably
about-
soon,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll have a talk next week about maybe some releases coming out in the next few
Yeah,
months.
definitely.
Nice.
We did a
Because-
hype show next week.
Because I've had for the last couple of weeks the March Madness list on my phone, and March is just looking insane.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's looking mad.
So
So we're gonna have to leave it there, I'm afraid. But I'm gonna say goodbye. I've been Henry,
I've
and
been Mark.
I've been Tom, and thanks for having me on again, guys.
I've been
be
Jack
someone else if
in
you
my
want.
very short cameo.
Yeah, Jack
been
made a
Jack.
cameo at the end. But yeah, thanks
One
everyone,
love,
guys. And we will see you next time. We've been the video game show.
Happy gaming, folks.
Goodbye.